Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. We are seeing in the last class yesterday how the Shiva, the consciousness that is within, ultimately saves man. The Chaitanya, when it is immersed in its own glory, the consciousness in its own glory, independent of the bodily existence. I am conscious, I am spirit. I am covered with so many layers. Annamaya kosha, pranamaya, vijnanamaya, all these various koshas I am covered with. Bodily is the physical body is the external most. Intellect is the innermost. After intellect comes the mind, followed by senses. Then organs of action, karmendriya and prana. Then comes the physical body, layer by layer. When we sleep, we leave one by one layer and enter within. They remain outside, unknown to me as I go inside. Consciousness is withdrawing. If I am not conscious, it is not there for me. So, how that happens, you see. Now that consciousness, that's what I am. Nature is showing every day, you are not this body by taking us to sleep. But as soon as we come back and identify with the body, coming into waking state and identification with body simultaneously happens. So we are not able to differentiate that I am not body. As I am waking up, already the identification of body, myself, it opens up, I am coming to waking state after the soul identifies with physical body. Otherwise, this world is not there for me. I cannot see. I cannot have bodily identity, then I cannot have the vision of this external world. It happens as I am slowly identifying with the body, slowly I am waking up. Fully identified, I am fully awake to this world. Fully I am body, nothing else. No spirit at all. Spirit has disappeared. Deep within I go, I leave the separate from body. And more I start identifying with the spirit. Last I am spirit alone. Non-dual state. But covered by ignorance. In Samadhi, the ignorance goes away. So this last refuge and last in the karmic load, going on, working through many lives and exhausting the karma, and while exhausting, gaining more karma, I am going in cyclic order. Someday, the evolutionary process I go through. The moment the renunciation of the world begins, oh, I had enough of this, and really nothing matters. There is no real joy here. That awareness identifies, oh, this world is just a show. So every moment, every event is a passing show, which is not going to stay next moment. Kshanabhangura. This awareness comes immediately. The circumambulation, it is going in a merry-go-round. The moment this vairagya appears, viveka appears, the evolution is beginning. That it has ended. The story, worldly story has ended. Now spiritual identity is going to come. Before that, the sadhaka identity, sadhakatva awakens, the spiritual aspirancy. Then when the spiritual aspirancy comes, longing appears. I long for God. I long for eternity. I long for eternal bliss, peace, love, absolute. This longing begins. Now is gaining the spiritual identity. The more longing, more loss of the worldly identity is dropping away. My worldly identity, my worldly personality is dissolving as my spiritual identity is expanding. Through sadhana is called sadhaka, it's called spiritual aspirant. Aspirance is there. Sadhakatva, it's awakened now to attain. The moment that comes, the past is dissociated. I cannot identify, once upon a time I was born, this one. Everything drops off. It aspires for realization. It wants eternity. So here we see the dropping away of past. I was not born at all, as if the past that is dead and gone is forgotten. And new identity, new world opens of sadhana. Now a new journey back to eternal. This is called evolution. From merry-go-round is evolving. Evolving means is leaving the earlier all habits, his lifestyle and his seekings, all are changing. Is evolving. Now you see how the revolving in the world, samsara, what saved him was his own spiritual awareness, spiritual identity. This is the Shakti which is going to protect us, take us to higher level. Otherwise, I would have been destroyed or continued in the same rut of the old life. Now, this change has been brought up by an energy which is taking care of every jiva, which takes us to deep sleep and brings you back every day. Now, that energy, the soul is experiencing enough of it. So that same energy starts taking it to higher levels of consciousness. Great changes takes place. How that evolutionary process happens, you see. And now that Shakti is protecting. That Shiva is eternal, unchanging. And it is being possessed. The Chaitanya is possessed, is engulfed by the material world that releases itself now. It frees itself. This is what does Shiva survive deadly poison. All negativity, all accumulated vasanas, all poison was there within, which is dragging into the world. And that Shakti transforms the energy, Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, the Icha Shakti has turned towards the divine. It is power, Shakti, which is going to, the Divine Mother, we call it Divine Mother. Divine Mother is going to survive the deadly poison. I am telling in the microcosm, the same thing happens in the macrocosm. Here macrocosm is being explained. If you know the microcosm, they are built on the same principle. Actually, an entity called Shiva exists at cosmic level. The cosmic Chaitanya, which is immersed in itself, is we call Shiva. when it is universal consciousness, the cosmic consciousness is involved in the maintaining the function of the universe. It is called Vishnu. The same consciousness, when it is withdrawing back, just like we go to sleep, the universe going to sleep, then the power which is going to take the consciousness which is taking the empowered by the Shakti is taking the retraction. The universe is going back to its causal form. Then it's called Maheshwara. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. The creative Shakti associated with the consciousness with which creative Shakti is involved. It is called Brahma. The same consciousness associated with another power, another aspect of power, which is going to maintain. It's called Vishnu. It is in the retractive phase of the universe. The Vishnu Shakti of maintenance dissolves back and new Shakti appears of retraction. Then it's called, that consciousness is called Maheshwara. So here when we say Shiva at cosmic level, it does exist. Brahma, Vishnu, within itself, when it is there, we call it Shiva. When it is involved in the external activities, we call it Vishnu. When that cosmic consciousness is there, as Vishnu, Shiva, and Shakti, various aspects, at individual consciousness we easily understand. So I am telling in the individual consciousness respect. She who creates the worlds are, everything happens by Shakti power, energy. Energy with anything happening, know that energy is behind. She who preserves, destroys with mere wink of her wondrous eyes. Means it is called eyes. The moment you say eyes, it's able to put a cognition is there. Cognitive property, it's consciousness, Chaitanya, associated with that particular Shakti. It's work of Shakti. Mere wink of her wondrous eyes. She is conscious of everything. She is doing the Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. She holds the universe in her womb. We saw how, because there is no duality is possible, she herself is expanding into the universe. Seeking a shelter at her feet, the gods themselves feel safe. When we now energy, you see a warrior, suppose in the war, is empowered with Shakti. We have so many missiles, this, that, grenades, guns, and all. It is power. He feels himself safe. There is a protective force. There is an active force which is going to attack. So this whole thing is power. I have intellectual power. I have spiritual power, which is supreme power, which releases the soul from the external bindings and makes it stand in its own glory. So how the Shakti is working, you see, everywhere Shakti. Seeking shelter at her feet, gods themselves feel safe. We always, any kind of Shakti I have feel myself. If I'm able to solve some problem, if I can be a teacher, I can be a warrior, all is, my Shakti is being manifested in various ways. And Mahadeva, God of gods, lies prostrate under her feet. The two aspects of reality, the unchanging eternal reality is always the substratum on which the playful the power of the universe, energy of the universe with multifarious aspects. It appears. What is the Adhar on what it is standing? It is Chaitanya, God of gods. It is Chaitanya on which the whole universe is standing. Lies prostrate under her feet. Now continuously, again he began. How many songs, one after the other. He's in ecstatic state, going on singing one after the other. His mother, only Shiva's wife. Her wife doesn't always remember in the world of spirit, spirituality, in the world of divine and spirit, there is no gender at all. It is when we say feminine, it is where expansion and contraction is possible. It can multiply. Like thoughts. Thoughts can goes on multiplying. It never keeps quiet. One after the other, like waves, it is coming. We give a feminine picture. Where there is stability, unchanging, ashraya, then we give a positive energy. And we take it as consciousness, Chaitanya and Chit Shakti. And now, when wife means not in we are accustomed with the term husband and wife in different material world associated with gender. There is no gender. Just like when we say river, it continuously flows and supplies. Because of continuity, we call it feminine. Mountain, unchanging mountain, we say he. There is no gender in either. She, river, he, mountain. Akasha, space, is he. Sun, which constantly gives light, is she. Where is a continuous flow and multiplication, expansion, we call it. That's why the term Shiva and Shakti is used. Shiva's wife, and even in material world, the small vehicles like moped and a motorcycle, what a difference. It is feminine, built is masculine built. A car and a truck, feminine and she and he. How the differentiation comes, you see, because of the built. His mother means association. Always they will go together. Time and space go together always. So it is like husband and wife. Time and space. Space, constantly changing time. Space is giving opportunity for all that to exist and undergo changes. So here, immediately we must understand it is beyond sex, it is beyond gender. Yet we use because of the continuity. Wife, to her, must need to bow down. To her must needs bow down. The all-destroying king of death. Even the king of death. Naked she roams about the world, slaying her demon foes, or stands erect on Shiva's breast. She was breast. We saw she is naked. Nobody has been able to cover the nature. You cannot hide anything in the nature. It is always open. You cannot cover this nature at all. It is always anything, nothing hidden. What is hidden is Chaitanya. Shakti is open, 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 open. So it is told to be naked. She is told to be dark because the whole universe exists in the darkness of absence of God. We are not able to see God, so we are seeing the world. Her feet upon her husband's form. Chit Shakti is playing on Chaitanya, Sagara. What a strange wife she makes. My mother's play, declares Prasad, the poet, shatters all rules and laws. Strive hard for purity of mind and understand my mother's ways. How the Divine Mother is playing the game and the whole thing, we call it, we saw earlier, Leela, Nitya and Leela. How the Nitya and Leela. Leela is whole divine play going on, which appears, and the content is the Chaitanya, the God. Chaitanya is appearing with name, form and movements. Nama, Rupa, Kriya. It is appearing as, just like water is appearing as clouds. And clouds are taking different forms. Every moment they are changing. To know that by knowing which you are eternally free. To know shatters all laws. Strive hard for purity, O mind, and understand the mother's ways. How the nature works, how the nature drives, how the nature saves. Why does she drive? To get purified of our own karma. Karmic load, action and reaction are equal and opposite. Whatever you do, you have to reap its fruit. Good and bad, right and wrong, whatever you have done. You cannot have no escape. The nature is very strict and stern. Law is strictly applicable automatically. Now, this moment that your mind understand the mother's ways. If your mind is pure, means when you observe power of cognition, power of volition, and power of conation. Seeing, in there is no wrong seeing. One thing is there, I understand or see it as a different thing because of my attachments or desires. Harmless thing I take as harmful. Most saving, like God's name, I take as poison. I am not liking it. But enjoyments, I am liking it. Poison I am taking as nectar, and nectar I am taking as poison. It is because my desires are there. When desires and attachments are there, it gives a wrong understanding. Mind and intellect is such a powerful thing, gives a wrong. How Arjuna weeps in the war. I don't want to fight. All reasoning, first chapter is so, half of the first chapter is his reasoning. Why should we not fight? Krishna just listens. Finally he sees it has to be given up. It doesn't stand the reality. So that understanding we need to bring now into the reality in our day-to-day life. Strive for purity, O mind, and understand the mother's ways. How many ways the nature is whole. Everything you see, it's a wonder, wonder, wonder. Look at the way the child is growing in the womb. Look at the way the body is sustaining itself. A cut is there. You cannot do anything. You cannot stitch it. You cannot do anything. Nature heals it. Nature cures it. Everything beautifully is taken over and maintained by nature, loving nature. So this is what we see practically in our life. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhritavikraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.